absolutely brilliant. Well, we'll be the judge of that, David. Fruit Machine Simulator is a 1987 game by Codemasters, came out at $1.99 for the Amstrad CPC, Spectrum, Commodore 64, Atari 8-bit and the BBC Micro. There is no version for the ST and Amiga, that is Advanced Fruit Machine Simulator, otherwise known as Fruit Machine Simulator 2 on the Amstrad, Spectrum and Commodore. Starting off on the Spectrum, game written by Mark Baldock. And the game was originally devised by Codemasters employee who sadly passed away. And the Oliver twins ported, I think, the Amstrad version, but Mark Baldock did the Spectrum version. Now, what is the point of a Fruit Machine game on a computer? Well, there's lots and lots of Fruit Machine games on computers. I argue that they're probably not a terribly good idea, but we'll come on to that a little bit later on. So you've got to know cash for real, you have to put in virtual cash, and of course you're going to be winning virtual money. There is a high score table though, so you might not win money, but at least you can see how much you win. So first thing to do is insert the coins. You've got a pound coin, a 50p coin, and well, that's it. So insert that. Press space to spin, and it's a fruit machine. I mean, come on. You know, fruit machines are completely pointless things. I've never seen the appeal of them, and you see these people in these big casinos playing these high stakes, or even arcades these days, because of all the games machines that we take at the arcades and replace with high stakes fruit machines, and you see people just kind of sitting down to play them. So occasionally something interesting happens, like this thing here where you have to select, or you have to try and get it on the H of Cash Bash. The only problem here with capture delay is it's incredibly difficult.
Fruit Machine Simulator.
So over to the Amstrad CPC where the Oliver twins ported the game. There is a 2-player option as well, so you can play against a friend, one after the other, and see who wins the most. I've got this running here on the Amstrad. Nice graphics on the CPC. Very colourful and eye-catching, which a good fruit machine should be, I suppose. And off we go. And yeah, it's a bit slower than the Spectrum, but it's a nice bounce effect there. Trying to look for some positives. And the numbers add up, and then you have to get all 9 to get Cash Bash lit up. You know the thing, you've seen fruit machines. Oh, I should have an S on Cash Bash. I don't really understand them, because sometimes it will hold things on Cash Bash, sometimes it won't. You're never quite sure what the rules of the game are. That's a fruit machine problem in general. The Amstrad version sounds nice and looks nice. For a video game though, you like me are video gamers. And a game based around chance and a little bit of skill, well, over to the C64 and the reels are much smaller. And the floating hand of justice down the bottom is just floating around trying to work out, right, let's press start. Because the Amstrad Spectrum version you play on the keyboard, but the C64 you can play on joystick. Here we go, spin the reels. No bounce like the Amstrad version. And here's a skill game, you have to press it at the right time to win the money, except with capture delay and LCD delay, you have no chance of using skill. Oh yes, I've been playing this game a bit and it's quite hard to do that stuff. You're really good. If you're going to be playing this, any of these versions, you for the skill games in this, the quick reactions, you will need a CRT. I'm sorry. Don't like the Cash Bash noise on the C64. It sounds a bit like electrical interference. Oh, can I get Cash Bash? Of course I can't. And if you want quick reactions, the C64 version is the one that really needs quick reactions. Look how fast those things flash. And you've got no chance, really, on a modern display. And you've got different games on this. You've got Nudge Pot, Cash Pot, Skill Game, and Auto Win. So you select which one of those you want, well, as far as you can, and you will play those. This game got panned by many of the magazines because they said it was pointless. And Richard Darling said, well, the game's a very good one. It's very obvious in the packaging what it is, and you can't win money from it. You should view the game and its qualities. Yeah. So there's a version for the BBC. Very unusual to have a Codemasters game on the BBC. One of the only ones, if not the only one, possibly. It's a simplified version. It plays the same. It's the same concept. It doesn't have much in common. Well, it does. It could look aesthetically better on the BBC. There's no reason why the B needs to look this basic, as we well know from the modern games. But I don't think there were possibly the graphic artists available to do those colourful graphics you saw on the other versions. Another skill game that's pretty much impossible. Lose. Over to the Atari 8-bit. Yes, another rarity for Codemasters, an Atari 8-bit game. Oh my, what's that egg walking around? It's Dizzy. Yes, for some reason, Dizzy features in this game. Which is weird when he doesn't, and Cash Bash doesn't feature in this either. You think the Atari people would have directly ported the other versions, but no. We've got this Dizzy thing going on the right-hand side. It's attractive and colourful and lots going on, which again you want with a fruit machine. Fruit machines are all about flashing lights and being busy, aren't they? I never played them myself. My grandmother used to play them, and she used to do very well out of them. And she had a criteria for picking them as well. There's certain ones she liked, but I couldn't tell you what they were. Usually seem to be ones that you could have built up a tower of lights to get more money. It's all I can remember. If you're a fruit machine expert, put comments in below. I did solicit opinions on fruit machine games, by the way, on Twitter. And some people said they're harmless. And one guy said, yes, I used to play some with my mate as a kid, and I never really got it, but he used to love it. And in later life, he got a gambling addiction. Yeah. So, perhaps my suspicion of these games is valid. The problem is here, really, this is a gateway, isn't it? If you've got a tendency towards this style of gaming, could it be said you might possibly also have a tendency towards gambling on such machines? Because it's a known addiction. I'm trying to rationalise it here. Perhaps it's a bit much for this channel and the remit, but we're looking at something that was sold to kids, and you know what? I don't think this would be allowed today. Over to the Amstrad, where the reaction times are slightly more reasonable. Probably not intentionally. And are still lost. There was also Amsoft Fruit Machine, which everyone had because it came free with the 464. And a Super Nudge 2000, as I recall, by Mastertronic, which looked stunning but was incredibly slow. Back to the BBC. I've got 7 credits, and well, let's see if I can. Oh, we got Cash Bash. Okay, so I've got to hit space at the right moment. Wind spin. What's wind spin? Right, I'm not doing anything now. It seems to be playing itself. Is it going to spin a combination where I win? I've also never understood the criteria these machines have for awarding holds and nudges. I like my games to be logical, and I don't find these games logical. For here, for example, with Dizzy walking around, that's a cool thing, and that's like building the tower thing on the fruit machines. But why does he suddenly, and it is Dizzy because it says Dizzy held, good luck. Why does he walk forward? I think he walks forward because of the numbers. Why does he walk back? I don't know. Select my winnings. Dizzy, hello. Yeah.
Fruit Machine Simulator.
Fruit Machine Simulator, what do you say? Well, I don't think it'd be allowed today. I could be wrong there. I think it would be seen as a gateway to playing the real machines. I don't know what PEGI rules are or the criteria for producing modern games are. Perhaps you can enlighten me in the comments below. Back in the day, we saw this as harmless fun. Well, I say fun. Obviously you can't win anything, and that's the point of fruit machines. And secondly, is it as fun as most proper arcade games? I'd say no. Fruit machines require you to have the addiction to play them. It's just my opinion. And there's a lot of randomness to how the game works, how fruit machines work. So you begin to ask yourself, why am I just sitting here like a nodding Homer Simpson thing in that episode of The Simpsons, just pressing space until the computer deems it the right criteria to give me a line of fruit or what have you. Yes, I get to press space from time to time those skill games, although as I say on an LCD, and certainly with capture delay as well, that's useless. In the 80s you might have felt all grown up playing Fruit Machine Simulator because you couldn't actually go and play the real fruit machines in the arcade, and I suspect that's what the real appeal was. In 2020, I'm afraid they're a curiosity no matter how polished they are. And you know what? With the intervening years, I suddenly find this game quite unacceptable.